Top 5 Best AV Receivers in 2020. Number 5. Denon AVR-S650H. Denon's newest crop of receivers is ideal if you want height surround sound without having to incorporate additional speakers. The AVR-S650H incorporates a technology known as Dolby Atmos height virtualization technology. As the name suggests, it is a passing impersonation of height audio, using complicated digital witchcraft to deliver sound from above. The AVR-S650H is one of 3 new receivers that incorporate this technology. You can also buy the S750H and S950H, which come with increased power. All of the receivers include Denon's host tech for wireless listening, and come with upgraded internals to improve overall sound quality. However, even at this low price, we think there are better receivers available. We still prefer the sound and functionality of the Onkyo TX-NR686, and for only $80 more, the Pioneer VSX934 offers full Atmos support. We also think that, while Dolby Atmos height virtualization technology sounds good, it's nowhere near as effective as true Dolby Atmos, and feels like a slightly lesser experience. Ultimately, the AVR-S650H is a solid receiver and deserves to be on this list, especially if you want to mimic height speakers, but it's not our first choice. What we like: Dolby Atmos height virtualization technology is pretty solid. What we don't: too expensive for what's offered. Coming in number 4. Denon AVRS740H. Here's our problem with the AVRS740H. It's an update to the 730H, which was previously in the upper echelons of this list. That receiver was excellent, and this one is too. The problem is, the new version costs $479 to $130 more expensive than the 730H. It also doesn't offer any improvement in terms of audio, focusing on updated video standards, including 4K Ultra HD, HDR, Dolby Vision and hybrid log gamma. If you feel those are important enough to pay for, then by all means, get this one. But we're not wild about expensive updates that don't offer anything new, and this definitely qualifies. It's especially glaring given how many advances Denon are taking in receiver tech. Just look at our top pick, the Denon AVR-S650H. All the same, it remains a great receiver. Very few receivers deliver 7.2-channel audio that sounds quite this good, with this much depth and intensity to the sound. The features are excellent, and you can even use the HEOS functionality to add Amazon Alexa to the mix, although we think it's just a touch finicky, which is a problem that carries over to the newer model. Our take: at this point, you should probably buy the Sony STR-DN1080, which is a far better receiver for only a little bit more money. Coming in number 3. Sony STR-DN1080. Several other sites place the STR-DN1080 at the top of their lists. We are not several other sites. While we think it's solid, especially for the price range, it doesn't quite get the edge over the Denon AVRS740H or the Onkyo TX-NR686. All the same, it's got excellent sound quality, not to mention power, 165 watts, which is more than enough to power just about any speaker currently on the market. And it easily beats out the similarly priced Denon AVRS740H, below, in most categories. There's only really one exception, which is Amazon Alexa functionality. The Denon has it, the Sony does not. You may want to take that into consideration before buying. We also love Sony's interface, which continues from the one present on the old 1060, and is very easy to use. We appreciate the fact that it not only has Dolby Atmos and DTS:X functionality, not usually seen at this price range, but also DSD functionality. That means it can play ultra-high-resolution audio files, a nice touch, and not one you see often. Here's to the .1090. 1100. What we wouldn't give for some original receiver names. What we like: terrific sound and user interface. What we don't: doesn't quite compete with bigger models, coming in number 2. Pioneer VS650H. If you're looking for a great AV receiver, but don't want to spend staggering amounts on one, we strongly recommend the Pioneer VS650H. Pioneer have occupied our best budget spot for quite some time. Their VS650H held it previously, and with good reason. A great budget receiver has to offer a lot of value, and the VS650H really hits that mark. One of the features we didn't expect to see is the room calibration, which is quite a rarity in affordable receivers. We also love the fact that this receiver gives you a huge range of surround sound programs to use, including full Dolby Atmos. The VS650H looks surprisingly good, too. Room calibration aside, we do need to point out that there are some sacrifices made to keep the price down. The bass, for one thing, feels muffled and indistinct, far less exacting and impressive than something like the Onkyo TXNR680H. That may or may not be a deal-breaker, but either way, we are convinced this is the best budget receiver available right now. What we like: surprisingly sleek looks, great room calibration and surround sound. What we don't: bass sometimes feels muffled. Coming in number 1. Marantz SR6014. Marantz have given their newest flagship receiver a serious overhaul, and it's enough to make the top of our list. As a replacement for the previous SR8012, the SR6014, we have no clue how these names work. Really ups the ante. It's a 9.2-channel receiver that includes some serious internal upgrades which boost the sound quality to unbelievable levels. Marantz use a piece of technology called the Hyperdynamic Amplification Module, HDAM, to boost the dynamic range of audio, and it makes a noticeable difference, especially while watching action scenes in movies. We also love the clever features, including the one that automatically renames HDMI inputs. No more trying to remember if you plugged your gaming console into HDMI and put 1 or 2. However, to really get the best out of this receiver's sound, you'll require a large room that measures over 400 square feet, which might not be possible for some. That isn't to say that the SR6014 will perform poorly in smaller rooms, but you'll lose some of the subtle nuances in the sound. We also think this model is quite expensive. You do get a significant range of features, along with superb sound quality, but the price may turn some people off. Regardless, we think this is significantly better than just about every other receiver on this list, including the previous title holder, the Denon AVR-S650H. What we like: a terrific update that improves the sound quality, boasts plenty of clever features. What we don't: does best in larger rooms, won't perform as well in smaller spaces.